This is ANN News Brief.
Rights group Amnesty International and Angola campaign group Omunga have found in an investigation that Angola security forces have killed at least 7 teenagers between May and July while enforcing measures to curb the spread of coronavirus. The rights bodies say the youngest victim was a 14-year-old boy, Marito, who was shot in May while out on a shopping errand. Amnesty International's director for East and Southern Africa, Depros Muchena, said one teenage boy was shot in the face while he lay injured. Another was killed when police fired on a group of friends practicing at a sports field. All the killings took place in poor neighborhoods of the capital, Luanda. The rights group say a state of emergency is no excuse to what it calls such outrageous human rights violations. It alleges that officers from the Angola National Police and Angolan Armed Forces are suspected to be responsible for the killings. The rights bodies have urged Angolan authorities to ensure their ongoing investigations are swift, independent, and impartial. They also called for those suspected of human rights violations and abuses to be held accountable as they demand justice, truth, and reparation for victims' families. Sudanese Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok has told the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Tuesday to separate Sudan's sanction removal and issues involving normalizing ties with Israel. Diplomatic relations with Israel are a sensitive issue in the Sudan. Hamdok told Pompeo that the transitional government, quote, does not have a mandate to decide on normalization with Israel, end quote. He said the matter would be decided after Sudan's transitional bodies were formed as the United States promotes stronger Sudan-Israel ties. The Sudan leader said the issue should not be linked to Sudan's removal from a U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism. Pompeo arrived in the Sudan from Israel on what he said was the first official non-stop flight between the two countries. He met with Hamdok and the ruling council head, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Pompeo's visit follows an accord between Israel and the United Arab Emirates this month to forge full relations and comes as Israel and the United States push for Arab countries to follow suit. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Uganda's foreign ministry has recalled some of its embassy staff in Denmark to allow for investigations following a newspaper report of a plot to misappropriate public funds. The Ugandan Daily Monitor newspaper reported a leaked audio recording of people discussing the plan, but there has been no official confirmation that the voices belong to embassy staff. The Foreign Ministry, through Permanent Secretary Patrick Mugoya, released a statement saying it will investigate the report. Mugoya said the officers implicated have been recalled to the ministry headquarters to pave way for investigations. He said additional appropriate measures may be taken depending on the outcome of the findings. That is the ANN News Brief at 4. Join us again at 5 for our full newscast. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.